Oh, hello there. How are you? Are you keeping well? So am I. And guess what? I'm entering my 14th week of isolation, of quarantine, of lockdown. But who's counting? I am. Well, I'm glad you joined me today, and I'm glad you're all well. Now, today, for my escape, because I'm always planning an escape, today my escape is going to be from Gatwick Airport to Jersey Airport. Now, this was suggested by one of the people in the list down below. Goes by the name of Silly Grandad. He's a good lad. He's a pensioner like I am. And he told me that he'd been in and out of Jersey a lot, and it was a very interesting landing and approach there because the runway wasn't all that long. It was just a little over 5,000 feet. So I thought, right, I'll have a go at that. Now, I'd already got the scenery in my simulator for Gatwick, but not for Jersey. So I went and got that and installed it the other day. So then I took the flight, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, before we get into the simulator, first thing we need to do is we need to do the flight briefing, don't we? We need to know what we are going to be putting in the settings. I'm going to be following a flight that was made by British Airways, who made the flight on Monday the 30th of March. 30th of March, I looked it up. And they departed Gatwick at gate 11 and they arrived at Jersey 53 minutes later. Now we're going to go and follow that same flight plan. So let's look at the sim brief. And on page 1, we see that it gave us a flight level of 260. Now, that obviously was not going to work. 260 would have been fine if we'd have been coming in on 08, but simply because we changed and went into 26, the flight distance was actually shorter. And because of that, we couldn't do 260, so we did 240. Now on page 2, it told us that our block fuel that we were going to need would be 5.6 tons or 5,603 kilograms. It's a lot of fuel. Imagine having that in a tank in your garden to run your car. Don't think you'd need to go to a petrol station very often, do you? Anyway, so that was the block fuel that we needed. The other thing that we needed to know were the reserves, and we needed to know what the trip and taxi. So the trip and taxi was going to be 2.2029 and the reserves 2.881. And then, of course, we needed to have a look at the cruise system, which cost index is going to be 10. That's the standard for Ryanair. You can look it up, but that's what all of their flights are. When they go in and get their flight briefing, it's always cost index 10. And then we're going to need to know the average wind, which in this case is 255 at 25 knots. On page 3 is the routing. Now this is what you would actually put in to the FMC, you know, that CDU, the programming part on the simulator. You would actually put that into the simulator and then it does all the calculations. But since we use PMDG, I just push the one button and it brings this in automatically. But if you did it manually, that is what you would put in. And the next thing that we're going to need is we're going to need our descent information. And the descent information for our flight plan was on page 8. And when you look at it, it gave us the wind speed and direction at 200, or that's flight level 200 by the way, and flight level 150 and flight level 100. And then here is the profile of our flight, and you can see where we've got our start at EGKK on the bottom right, and then the top of climb, top of descent, and then all the way down to Shark, and then into EGJJ, which is Jersey. We actually flew at flight level 240 instead of 250. Right. Got all the information, made all of your notes. So if you're ready, let's go on in. So get your cap on, get your tie straightened out. This is Ryanair after all, and we need to look smart, don't we? Join me in the cockpit, why don't you? Welcome aboard. This is Ryanair flight 186, and we're at stand 11 at Gatwick Airport, and today we're going to go to Jersey. So if you're ready, climb aboard. Now if you remember, first thing that we do is turn on the battery. We have voltage up here. Now we turn on the fuel pumps, come over here and start the APU. We're going to watch for this needle to go up and then come back. And then that tells us that we've got a good start, good burn. And as soon as it gets to just about 4, this blue light will come on to indicate that we have 115 volts coming off the APU that we, there it is, that we can now switch to, and there it is. We have 115 volts. So now we can turn on the galley, emergency exit lights, seat belts, no smoking, and we'll turn on the IRS for the left and the right so we can get our GPS location. Here we go with the window heat and the probes and the hydraulic pumps. These two lights, this equipment, this light indicates that the stairs are down so that our passengers, all honored, highly revered, can get on board. And this is the forward access hatch. Then we'll turn on the APU bleed so that we can then start the air conditioning system in the main cabin. Right, now we're ready to do some programming. Now our IRS position is EGKK. So we'll initialize and put in EG and KK.
Gatwick ground, Pacifica 6398.
We're at stand 11.
To the gate.
Pacifica 6398, taxi to gate Lima 140 using taxiway Charlie Romeo Charlie Juliet.
taxiing to gate Lima 140 using taxiway Charlie Romeo Charlie Juliet Pacifica 6398.
And then we'll go down onto page 2 where we'll pick the GPS, either left or right, but it matches the plate saying what our GPS location should be. We put that in, and now the screens go active. We'll put in our route. The origin, of course, is EGKK. Now, of course, we're going to cheat a little bit and put in our route automatically because we're using PMDG. So we'll cheat here. And we'll just put that there, execute. Now we need to put in our flight number, which is RYR186. And then activate, and we've got it. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to put in our fix for our destination. And that, do you remember that? That's right, it's EGJJ. EGJJ for Jersey. And we want a 4-mile, and then we want a 10-mile radius, and we want a 30-mile radius. Being advised that landing and departing is on runway 26 left. So that's what we'll put in, is 26 left. And we're departing on the Novma 1M. And our arrival was a little bit of discussion about that, because the sim brief gave us runway 8 for the arrival, but when we went onto the windy.com, that showed an entirely different one. That actually showed us we were going to coming in on 26. So we'll go ahead and put in ILS 26, and we're also going to be arriving the Jersey 1 West. So the Jersey 1 West, that's it, right there. Now, we'll go to our legs, turn this on to plan, and let's see if we have a good plan. So we'll go through the steps. Good, all the steps take us all the way in. We've got a good plan. Okay. Now we need to just get our clearance for pushback and start, and also our clearance for departure. So let's go ahead and ask them about that. We'll be departing initially by going west, so we'll ask for a west departure.
Gatwick ground, Ryanair 186 ready to taxi, departure to the west with Juliet. Ryanair 186 taxi to and hold short at runway 26 left using taxiway Mike, contact tower on 134.225 when ready. Taxiing, hold short runway 26 left using taxiway Mike, Ryanair 186.
Well, we've got our clearance. We definitely are going to be leaving on runway 26 left. So we'll go ahead then and put in our route data, get the initialization, the fuel, that's going to be 4.9 is the planned fuel. Reserves at 2.9, close enough. Cost index is 10. And our cruise altitude today is going to be 260. So we'll put 260 in here. Ordinarily, you wouldn't do this on a real flight. You'd go to the altitudes assigned you by the very friendly air traffic control. But we're making some presumptions today. So, and we'll put it also up in here. And our runway height is 270, so we'll put 250 in here because it's in 50 feet blocks. Right, and so we are flight 260. We'll put that in there. The cruise wind is 255 at 25.
Juliet Airport information, Charlie 1050 Zulu, weather wind 250 at 20, gusting to 32, visibility 10,000, sky condition few clouds at 1500, temperature 10, dew point 8, QNH 1010, advise on initial contact, you have information, Charlie. Echo.
26124, 26124, and 26222. And 27217. 258. Well, our heading is going to be 258 on that runway. So we'll set that. We have a good one. So we'll arm everything, and we are now ready to bring up the stairs. Close the forward service hatch. And we'll let the crew know that we are getting set to do a pushback. Okay, so seatbelts on, everything is checked. Let's do our checklist here. Pre-flight checked before start. Fuel, pumps, check. Windows locked both, check. Seatbelt signs, check. Door lights, check. MCP, headings, altitude, all check. Takeoff speeds, check. CDU pre-flight is completed. Rudder ailerons is checked. Taxi and takeoff briefing is done. Oh, and anti-collision lights is on. Okay. We are now ready for our pushback and start. So, to do that, we first of all take off the brake. We turn off the air conditioning. So here we go. And then we'll switch this to generator 2 because that is the engine we're going to start first. So, engine start is on. When we get to 24, we will introduce the fuel. And there's 24. So bring up the fuel to fuel idle. we've got a British Airways up on our right and Virgin Air on the left, so we're in a tight little area here. Good, we have power. Now we'll turn on the switch for engine number 1 and start engine number 1. And we're at our pushback, so we will now do a stop. Brake is on. Wait for the power to build up and get ourselves 115 volts up here. There we go. And we have a good start. So now switch on that. And now we're going to switch over to the main engines for the power. So, and now we will turn on the air conditioning again, turn off the APU bleed, and turn off the APU. Now we're pretty much set. We'll do our after start. Generators are on, probe heat is on, anti-ice as required is check, isolation valve is closed, correct, engine start levers idle detent, check, flight deck door closed and locked. So we are all set and secure. And recall is check, flight controls are check, flaps. We need flaps 5, check, and RTO on the auto brake. Speed brake lever is detented down. Ground equipment is clear on both, so everybody's clear. And we have green light on the flaps. So we are now ready to taxi. So we'll introduce a little power to get ourselves unstuck. Sorry about the frame rate, not much I can do about that. Not until I get a second computer. Then I will be able to have a better frame rate. Now we'll tune into the tower. We're at the old short line here, so
Gatwick Tower, Ryanair 186 at runway 26 left, ready for takeoff, departure to the west.
Ryanair 186 cleared for takeoff, runway 26 left. Approved, west departure.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 26 left, Ryanair 186.
okay. And then taxi to position. Make sure that we have a good look around, make sure no traffic is coming in. And there's the active runway, 26 left. Line up on the center line. And put the brake on. Okay. Takeoff briefing is reviewed. Engine bleeds. They are on. Engine start switches. Continuous. Check. Cabin is secure. Alright. Before takeoff, checklist is complete. So, all lights are on, navigation lights are running. We'll advance the power to N1. And release the brake and toga button.
V1 rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
Positive rate. Gear up. Auto brake is off.
Ryanair 186, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
And autopilot is now on. TCAS is check. Flaps are up, clear and off. Release the crew to go to work. And flaps up. Now we're restricted to 4,000 feet on this departure, so we're not able to climb until we get to the Novma waypoint, which is coming up. And then we'll be able to climb up to our assigned altitude, which is actually going to be 24,000 feet. We had to reduce it because of a complication or a conflict with the onboard computer, which is fine. That's what it's there for. Here we go now. You can hear the engine spooling up. And here's Novma, right. And now we climb up to our flight level. Look at that. And she was ready for that. Right, 6,000 feet, and we go into standard at that point. So we're now standard. We're continuing our climb out. When we get to the Sam, I think, so that's when we start to swing and we'll go to the south. So at Sam that would be 207 on here, but I won't change it till just yet. losing altitude. Check, check. Check. And we'll let the passengers wander about for a few minutes. From the pilot seat, you can see the instrumentation. Now we've started our descent. Pressurization landing altitude is check. Seatbelt signs on. Recall check. Auto brake check. And arm. Landing data is all checked. Approach briefing is complete. Descent check complete. those are the lines that we put in into the plan. So there's the 30 mile and there's the 10 mile. There's quite a few clouds below, which should make it an interesting landing. Apparently there are gusts up to 30 miles an hour predicted, or being reported, I should say. Guernsey straight ahead of us, and we're going to go to the left into Jersey.
Jersey, airport information, uniform, 1306 Zulu, wind 250 at 20, visibility greater than 20 miles, sky condition, few clouds at 1500, temperature 102.8, altimeter 1010, landing and departing, runway 26. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instruction. Advise controller on initial contact you have uniform.
Well, we have uniform, and it looks like we are going to be coming in on runway 26 after all. So, we were correct to look at the windy.com to see what the wind was like. Yes. So we're all set up now for our approach. Lights on at 10,000 feet. Crew, begin your cleanup. contact Jersey and get our clearance to land.
Jersey Tower, Ryanair 186 is 2 minor miles north with uniform to land. Ryanair 186, Jersey Tower, fly right face, runway 26, altimeter 100 minor. Enter right face, runway 26, Ryanair 186.
Well, we've been given our clearance. And we'll slow up a little bit here. Go to flaps 1. And we're picking up the Jersey VOR. We're 25.5 DME miles away. And we'll select auto brake on. Got a good view of the French coast on our left here. That's the warning for the altitude fix. will be making a turn to swing onto final. So I'm going to get that 263, which is our final approach. Attendants, secure for landing. And engine start switches continuous, check. Altimeters QNH 1009, check. Landing gear will be down in just a moment. Flaps, we've got green light. Good. That is complete. Starting to pick up the DME, the glide slope, and we'll be locking on to the VOR in just a moment. There it is, there's Jersey. We'll go to flaps 10. Starting to begin our turn in just a moment. Runway is over there, we have it in sight. And we'll lock onto the VOR. Approach fix is locked in, and now we're going down the glide slope.
26, clear to land, runway 26. Clear to land, runway 26, Ryanair 186.
All lights on. Attendants, make sure you're strapped in, love. And we're on the glide slope. Good. Speed is good. One thousand feet. Runway is ahead. We have visual. We're getting a little bit of buffeting here. The yaw damper is certainly working overtime to keep us going straight. Landing checklist is
minimums. 300. Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reverse thrusters are on.
Ryanair 186, exit runway when able.
Cleanup complete. Turning left here to taxi to the gate.
Ryanair 186, exit runway when able.
Yes, sir, we are.
Ryanair 186, contact ground on 121.90. 121.90, Ryanair 186. Jersey ground, Ryanair 186, request taxi to the gate.
Ryanair 186, taxi to gate 5 using taxiway Bravo Alpha.
Taxiing to gate 5 using taxiway Bravo Alpha, Ryanair 186.
Turned on the APU to get it started, so we'll switch to that. And we've been given our gate. We're going to be going to gate 5. Release the crew. slow this up. They don't like speeders on the apron. They have ATC. They are no fun at all. And looks like we have to swing left here. I see what they're doing, okay. Bit more. And stop. Brake is on. APU bleed is on. Lights off. Engines are off. TCAS is off. So we'll clean up the dash. Auto brake is off, speed brake is off, flaps are down, check. Okay. Yaw damper off. And we'll open the stairs and the door. And you can see the lights are coming on. Okay. Welcome to Jersey. That wasn't too bad now, was it? Okay, we'll do the shutdown now. Galley off. Emergency exit lights off. Window heat is off. Probes are off. Hydraulic pumps are off. And IRS is off. Passengers have disembarked. The pub is open, so it's time to shut down and go join them. How's that? So, we'll turn off the APU bleed, turn off the fuel pumps, turn off that, and battery is off. Shutdown is complete. Thank you for flying with Ryanair.